Hello and welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the announcement for the Year 4 Pass, as well as its content. And we're also going to talk about the developers breaking their silence once again around the Xbox issues that have unfortunately been plaguing this game on Xbox platforms for months now. And in order to address these things in sort of a usable order, what we're going to do is we're going to start by talking about the Xbox issues, and then after that, we're going to move on to discussions about the Year 4 Pass as well as its content. So if you don't want to hear about Xbox issues, or you are not on Xbox and the information doesn't really help you, you can go ahead and skip ahead a little bit in the video. However, for my Xbox users, go ahead and stick around because this information literally pertains directly to you. And now, I'm going to actually start this segment by reading word for word the developer statement on the state of the game, specifically on Xbox consoles. So let's go ahead and begin with the state of the game. So they said, "We are aware of all of the issues that you have been encountering on Xbox, and we sincerely apologize for that. We understand the frustration that you have been experiencing because of these issues. We want to assure you that our development team is actively working on resolving these issues." They definitely use these issues a lot. Moving on, they go on to say, "However, it's important to note that this remains a lengthy process. We greatly appreciate your patience and understanding over the past months. We sincerely strive to deliver a more enjoyable gaming experience on all platforms for all runners." And then they finish by saying, "Your feedback and support are invaluable. If you encounter any issues, please reach us here," in which they continue to provide a link for Saber support. And if y'all were looking for a more in-depth acknowledgement, you've definitely got one. However, I'm not quite sure if this was the acknowledgement that everyone might have been looking for, but it's definitely a lot more than what we have seen prior. And I think as far as giving us a little bit more insight into what is going on, I think they have done that at least to a degree, and I'm grateful that they are at least doing that. Now, I can understand how if you are on Xbox and have not been able to play this game with your friends for, honestly, at this point, many, many months, yeah, I think you're probably still going to be upset. But if it has taken them this long to still not have a concrete fix, it must genuinely be a horrible issue, and it's probably buried so deep into the game now that I would almost wonder if the process of fixing the issue is a whole hell of a lot deeper than what they originally anticipated that they would be getting into, like on a development side. Also, just to talk about the gameplay for a quick moment, I wanted to see if I could drive across this halfway completed bridge, because normally they just block these off with the barriers that you can't drive over or around or under. And I was like, you know what? I just want to see if they'll let me do this, and they did. And then I realized that if I went any further, I'd probably get an axle caught under something. But at the end of the day, I'm just honestly really tickled that they will let you do that if you genuinely want to do it. And now, let's go ahead and shift the conversation over to the discussion of the Year 4 Pass. Now, what I'm about to show you is obviously a very condensed version of the full roadmap that they showed, but I didn't think y'all needed to see the full roadmap because all of that content is basically already out in the wild. Now, for the Year 4 Pass, we're going to have Season 13, Dig and Drill. Then we're going to have Season 14, Reap and Sow. Then Season 15, Oil and Dirt, which is oddly similar to Season 13. And then we also have Season 16, which is going to be our fourth major expansion to the game. Now, with the release of the Year 4 Pass, or at least the confirmation of the Year 4 Pass, not only does this mean that SnowRunner will get a whole another year of continued developer-supported content and DLC, but it also means, and it pretty much clarifies, that Expeditions, a MudRunner game, will live as a companion to SnowRunner. And I would venture a guess that throughout the life cycle of the Year 4 pass, we may even see elements of Expeditions integrated into SnowRunner throughout some of the different seasons during Year 4. And that could mean anything from some of the gear from Expeditions to things like adjustable tire pressure, which I'm crossing my fingers for that one, because now that we know that they have the functionality to do it, I'm almost kind of even more mad that it's not here. But at the same time, I feel like it's one of those features that they may have had it and they may have been like, well, now granted, this is all speculation, but I almost wonder if they were like, well, we know we have this, but we need to have something special and spicy to put into the next game, so we won't let them have it just yet. And as annoying as that is, I almost wonder if people are just going to forget about the fact that it's annoying after they actually get access to it, because they're like, oh, well, we have it now, so we don't need to be annoyed about not having it anymore. But then again, I could be entirely wrong on my, I guess, my reading of that. But let me know in the comments down below how y'all would feel about, say, for example, adjustable tire pressure or some of the other special functionality and special add-ons from Expeditions making their way into SnowRunner. Now, to revisit some of those titles of some of the individual seasons, let's dig a little bit more into what that could possibly mean, or what they could possibly mean about that season of DLC. Now, honestly, season 13 being called Dig and Drill seems to be centered around oil. However, season 15 is also called Oil and Dirt. So I'm kind of confused as to, like, okay, well, is only one of those centered around oil, or are they both centered around oil? Or are we going to see oil-focused trucks and add-ons making their way into the game? Because I know that several mod creators have actually dived into sort of that niche of oil field related trucks. And honestly, if we get official DLCs that are based around an oil drilling operation, I'm sure that a lot of people that are into those types of trucks are going to be really excited about having an official DLC based around those subjects, for one, and then also just having another environment to maybe better utilize that type of hardware. And of course, y'all can chime in the comments down below and let me know what y'all think some of those specific taglines for the upcoming seasons, or rather the titles of the upcoming seasons. You can chime in down below to let me know what you think they sort of hint at. And I think we're definitely not far off from at least one of them being very closely centered around an oil drilling operation. However, I'm not quite sure about the other one. Now, specifically with one of them having dirt in the title, that almost makes me wonder if they went the extra mile to put like actual functional dump trucks in game, like in a future DLC. Now, that would be incredible. However, I don't think they're going to do it. And of course, don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love if they did that, because I think dump trucks would make, honestly, so much sense in a game like SnowRunner. But I'm not sure if they would go to the trouble of engineering like a loose material like dirt to function in a realistic way, sort of in the bounds of this physics system. Now, that's obviously coming from someone that is not a game developer and does not have experience, working on the development side of the SnowRunner physics system. So take what I say in that sort of vein with a little bit of a grain of salt. However, it still could be really freaking cool. And of course, those taglines, or rather those titles, I'm not quite sure why I keep calling them taglines, but one of them also very, very, very clearly hints at a return to farming. And I'll leave y'all to make up your own minds on whether or not you're excited about there being farming in another DLC, because some people loved it the last time they did it. And then other people really despised it. Like, there were people that were genuinely upset at A, the fact that it was in the game to begin with, and B, how it was executed. So again, I'm going to leave y'all to make up your own minds to the return of farming in a future DLC. But that is going to do it for our talk in this video. And if y'all enjoyed anything we talked about, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. And I will see y'all next time.